What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping back into Destiny 2 with some Season 13 news. So, there are a few bugs to talk about. Bungie confirmed that Eyes of Tomorrow was unintentionally nerfed going into the season. We'll speak about that and a couple of other things, as well as additional confirmation about weekly loot, strike weapon drops, missing armor mods, and more. But we'll also talk about a hidden area, new exotic armor that started dropping in the game, as well as the new catalyst perks, then a bunch of weekly quests, future upgrades, and more dropping over the next few weeks. So guys, as always, I hope you enjoy the video, but now let's get into it. Over the past couple of days, there's been quite a bit of conversation about some Sandbox stuff, and initially for players it looked like the Eyes of Tomorrow rocket launcher had been nerfed. But Cosmo said, just to confirm, that any damage reductions to Eyes of Tomorrow were definitely non-intentional, and the team is currently investigating it as a bug. Adaptive ordnance only triggering off kills is intentional, as referenced in its description. And the good news, of course, is that this isn't an intended change, so if you are one of the lucky folks that actually has the weapon, or if you still happen to be hunting it down, it is something that will be fixed in the future. On the subject of Nightfall weapon availability this season, DMG said that these weapons are on a weekly rotation, and for this week the featured weapon is Shadow Price. And again, that's dropping inside of Nightfall or Deals, but it's good to know that there will be a weekly rotation there, so next week, regardless of the Nightfall, we should be able to get either Palindrome or the Swarm. And Cosmo had also confirmed that Adept mods for the weapons will be dropping from Grandmaster Nightfalls as well. On the subject of raid reward changes, DMG did say that the weekly featured raid they spoke about in the patch notes on Tuesday was an errant patch note, and featured raids isn't something intended for Season 13, but the team are targeting it for a future season. However, he did add that it looks like the core and prisms being added to secret chests was intended for this release, and it should be live in the game now. And so secret chests inside of raids are dropping those additional materials, but in terms of weekly featured raids, quite possibly that's something Bungie will be adding when the Vault of Glass returns. So something else to look forward to. Couple of quick things right here, but they also said that the team is investigating missing armor mods, as well as Cosmodrome strikes not being on the director, and the exotic bonuses for Dune Marchers and Heart of Inmost Light not working correctly. So bear those ones in mind. And now moving to some of the new content, another glitch that you may have experienced in-game, but quite a few players have reported spawning into the upcoming strike area on Nessus, as shared by Jim here on Twitter. And basically it's randomly possible to be spawned into the space if you late join a Nessus battleground, or you could potentially even spawn in, I believe, when respawning after death. And we get a look at the infantry concourse area, which is basically the entrance to the strike. Gonna be very cool to check out another land tank, and to get a brand new strike in a season drop, of course in the form of the Proving Grounds. However, we will have to wait until March 23rd, which is after all of the battlegrounds have been defeated, so it is quite likely to be a significant narrative component for the season as well. But as of the daily reset, the new exotic armor drops are now available in the Lost Sector rotation, so these can come from any of the Legend and Master Lost Sectors, as long as they list an exotic chess piece drop when completed solo, and that will include Lost Sectors on Europa, the Cosmodrome, and the Moon when they become available. My friend Duddits right here got the mantle of Battle Harmony, and takedowns with weapons that have damage type matching your subclass element grant you super energy, and while your super energy is full, you instead gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage of the type matching your subclass element. And you get around a 20% weapon damage bonus when you have a full super, but you earn your super back really fast when making matching element kills. So right here, with an arc subclass and using all arc weapons, but also especially if you pair this with bonuses like Thresh, Wellspring, and even Osmosis on the kinetic weapon. Obviously a bit more of a complete build going on right here, but we can see the thing is pretty good in terms of getting super energy. So that's a quick look at the Warlock exotic, but there is the Curious of the Falling Star for the Titans with Glorious Charge, which greatly increases your Thunder Crash impact damage, and you gain an overshield that lasts longer the farther you travel before striking a target. And from what folks are saying, this essentially doubles that Thunder Crash damage. And then the Omnioculus for the Hunter, where you gain a second Smoke Bomb charge and have damage resistance while invisible. Then when you make an ally invisible, they gain damage resistance while invisible and you gain melee energy. All of those exotics now dropping across the Lost Sectors in the game, so happy hunting on those. Something else to mention on the subject of exotics right here, but players have spotted what could be a new catalyst for this season, and this one's for Heir Apparent. Maybe it's something we're going to get for the Guardian games, since the catalyst has been updated with a new perk this week. But the catalyst bonus will increase the arc shield's durability and partially reload the magazine if it's destroyed. And Heir Apparent isn't a weapon I've even thought about for a little while, but it sounds like a potentially interesting bonus and I'd be curious to get your thoughts about it. And finally here, let's talk a little bit about future upgrades for the War Table, the Hammer, and some weekly quest stuff that'll be coming up. No kind of massive story spoilers or anything like that, but In terms of reputation, we are limited by week as to how much war table rep we can actually earn. And Parasito on Raid Secrets did share a list of challenge objectives that'll be coming up on the Seasons Challenge tab, so we are going to get 2 lots of war table reputation medium tokens for each week in the first month of the season, and then we'll get large rep tokens later in the season. So, for example, on week 2, to earn medium rep tokens, we'll need to acquire 200 Cabal Gold by playing Strikes, Gambit, Crucible, public events, and more, and then smash 10 tribute chests and focus 10 Season of the Chosen engrams. And of course, for that we need to use charges from the Hammer of Proving. And then with that reputation, we will be able to unlock more of the bonuses and the enhancements for the war table. And looking at those upgrades, some of them enable new medallions and eventually another slot on the Hammer of Proving. We will be able to unlock different challenger medallions. The Pierce medallion allows us to destroy a tribute chest in Battlegrounds playlist to temporarily increase hammer charge capacity. The Darken medallion will allow us to earn an Umbral engram from the tribute chest in the Battleground playlist, and then the Radiant medallion grants additional hammer charges from destroying tribute chests in the Battleground playlist. And then there will be a rune slot where we can apply bonuses that will increase the amount of Glimmer or Cabal Gold that we can earn, or give us chances to earn additional hammer charges from smashing tribute chests. But we also know that we are going to have many weekly quests over the course of this season, and they'll work in a pretty similar way to the one that kicked off the season, each with a lot of vendor dialogue, and a weekly narrative that kind of guides us through the season story. So that's going to be pretty cool, and I think it will include more holograms at the war table, but in terms of gameplay, it's going to be a fairly similar loop of discovering new battlegrounds, charging the hammer, reporting to the helm, and debriefing with vendors. The 4th weekly quest seems to have a lot more steps to it. It's possible that it could be linked to some of the upcoming secret content, and the exotic quests we'll learn more about on the Dark Cabal ship. According to JP Deathblade, the ornament for the new exotic weapon is currently listed to appear on the 16th of March. That makes it possible that could be the week that the quest launches, or of course the week after the quest launches, which is what we've seen historically. But as always, that can change. Either way, for today guys, that is what we have to round up in the news videos, so I'll be keeping you posted with the new content as always here on the channel. And if you have enjoyed this video, then feel free to get subscribed and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on anything. It's worth bearing in mind once again, finally a quick post-launch shout, but Bungie still plan to give us a State of the Game update for Destiny 2 this season. And this is most likely going to come from Joe Blackburn, as far as we know. But I think PvP, hopefully, will be a component of that based on what Bungie had said. Obviously, a lot of discussion about it in general in the community, but there was sort of an indication that this will be part of the conversation. But also other issues like sunsetting, the long-term plan for that, then hopefully conversation about rituals, season content, rewards, and a bunch of other key issues. So it's going to be something else to look out for, but as always, let us know your thoughts on the discussion, or any of the stuff that we've spoken about in the video. But also a like rating really does help us out here on the channel, guys. However, for now, whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.